Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, guys, E is not in tonight. She's not feeling well, but she'll definitely join us again via the phone. So we're gonna keep her lifted and send positive vibes to her. Hey, E, woo, 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 woo. Sending positive vibes. Thank you so much to our co-host, our cyber co-host, Monica. She's holding it down behind the scenes. Guys, we have definitely a special in studio guest with us tonight. We have Mr. I Said It Callahan, or is it Callahan?
Celebrity interviewer, I Said It, the poet.
Okay, I Said It, the poet is here with us tonight. How you doing tonight?
I'm great, Queen. How are you?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. Scoot up some so that everybody can hear you. Okay. Do me a favor. Tell us a little about yourself and what you got going on and how people can get in contact with you.
Definitely. I definitely want to say thank you, for having me on the show tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Again, my name is Celebrity Interviewer. I Said It, the poet. I do represent I Said It Management. I'm the founder of that company that I founded 3 years ago. Where I conduct events, I do graphic designs, and I conduct my interviews underneath that company. I've also been affiliated with the Chicago Bridge magazine going on now 18 years, which I'm very proud of. And the Chicago Bridge magazine is a music entertainment publication based out of Chicago and now Atlanta as well. We have our own printing company, and we just have been helping a lot of artists over the years highlight themselves and highlight people in business like yourself and things of that nature.
Okay, so how can people get in contact with you?
Well, I'm very simple to contact. You can either hit my inbox at I Said It Callahan II, or at any time you can actually email me at isaidit.mc. That's spelled ISAIDIT.mc@gmail.com.
So do you have any upcoming events that you got going on?
Yeah, most definitely. I don't have a date secured yet, but it's definitely going to happen. Before the end of this year, I will be conducting the 3rd annual Tribute to Women event tour. And that's presented by my company, I Said It Management, sponsored by Chicago Bridge Magazine. And as of now, it's going to be held at River Oaks Mall, right beside JCPenney's, at a friend of mine who I've been doing a lot of business with lately. And his company is called Smart and Chill. So shout out to my guy, Sean, at Chuck Smart and Chill.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll definitely have that information posted on our page at the J Spot, also on our Twitter page at J Spot, and also on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all 3. Guys, this portion of the J Spot is brought to you by Product Max Herbal Toothpaste. Product Max is a new herbal toothpaste company that believes in old-fashioned values. Just as our ancestors did, we believe that all natural healing properties come from Mother Earth. So definitely order a tube of their toothpaste. Compare it to your national leading brand. I promise you, after one use, you will totally discard the national leading brand, and you will just be like, what have I been doing to my teeth all these years? Because Product Max does not have fluoride. Do your research on fluoride, because fluoride is definitely unhealthy for us. So, and a lot of products have fluoride in it. So definitely do your research on fluoride. Again, you can definitely order a tube of their toothpaste at productmax.com and use reference code J, and that's Jaye. Also, if you are interested in advertising your business, product, or services with the J Spot, please email us at jspotradio@gmail.com. Again, that's jspotradio@gmail.com, and J is spelled Jaye. Guys, tonight we are talking about something very serious: sexual harassment. Talking about sexual harassment on tonight. Okay, so in your opinion, I said it, what is sexual harassment in your opinion?
In my opinion, I would say off the top of my head, sexual harassment is something to where you make someone feel uncomfortable in their environment.
Okay. Now, guys, according to an online source, sexual harassment is unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature constitutes sexual harassment. When submission to or rejection of this conduct explicitly or implicitly affects an individual's employment, unreasonably interferes with an individual's work performance, or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment. In order for the harassment to be considered unlawful, it has to be so frequent or severe that it creates a hostile or offensive work environment. And as a result, and it results in an adverse employment decision, like the victim being fired, demoted, or even makes them quit. Like they feel so uncomfortable and they dread going to work that they just quit as a result of being harassed. But given this broad definition, it's not surprising that sexual harassment comes in many forms. Now, the following are just some examples of what sexual harassment could look like. Just some examples on kind of get you in the frame of mind of what it is. The first one is a supervisor implies to an employee that the employee must sleep with him or her to keep their job. A sales clerk makes demeaning comments about female customers to his coworkers. Man, ooh, I tap that. I make her do this. I make her. Okay, watch it with those type of comments. An office manager in a law firm is made uncomfortable by lawyers who regularly tell sexually explicit jokes. Every day you going up in there talking about somebody sucked this, somebody touching this. Listen, don't nobody want to hear all that every day. Keep that bullish to yourself. Like, if you know people are not responding, or you can kind of tell when you're saying something that's making people feel uncomfortable. So just kind of be aware of when you one of those people that just be firing off and saying all kinds of crap. Kind of take that in mind. A cashier at a store pinches and fondles a co-worker against his or her will. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me. You know what? That's one thing I hate. Do not touch me. Don't hug me. Don't come in my personal space unless I invite you there. Are you like when you talk to people? Are you? Because some people are touchy people. Don't touch me.
You're right.
Don't touch me. I don't like to touch me. Just don't touch me. But what are you like? How do you feel like if people get in your personal space? Are you intimidated by people getting in your male or female? Like, are you intimidated, or do you feel like okay, you're just comfortable with people, kind of getting in your space?
Well, definitely, you should protect your space, protect your energy. That's very important. People carry different types of energies and things of that nature. So I do try to protect my energy. At the same time, I try to keep it balanced and stay welcoming to people to embrace me, because I know I inspire people, and you never know how what you say or what you do may influence people and how that affects them. And so they want to embrace you sometimes when they see you. So I don't want to so-called stop them from that, because that's that first impression, and first impression, last impressions is very important to me. And so I don't want to offend anyone by, like, if they try to come up and hug me, I just kind of fill them out.
Right.
It's based on the situation, I would say.
Right. Well, me personally, like I can be real stickler, because I prefer handshakes, but I like most of it's because some people like, especially, and I'm gonna tell you how I got like this. In the church, like sometimes everybody come and hugging, they getting a sloppy old deacon. Listen, no, just don't. So as a general rule of thumb, I just don't want to hug, because I'm gonna end up being rude, because you're doing too much. Okay, you're just doing entirely too much. So that's just me. But again, like you said, you gotta feel a person out and feel their vibes out and see how they will feel. Like, is the hug, is it welcome, or is it kind of forced? Like Mr. Winfrey, I told him I just poke him with something sharp. Do not just shake my hand. We've been working together for a long time, but just like shake my hand or send me an email or inbox and just say hi. But just like, he can't hug me. Like, just don't hug me. Just send me an email. I just already told him that. Like, don't hug me. Just buy me a cup of coffee. I'll take that as a hi. Have a donut waiting for me when I get in. I'll take that. Those are kind, welcoming gestures, but don't hug me. I'm just like, I'm real funny about my space. But the other one is a secretary co-worker belittle her and refer to her by sexy demeanors or demeaning terms. Oh, no, I'm talking about the one with the big titties. No, I'm talking about the one with the big butt. Listen, you cannot be making those type of, references to people in the workplace when you are describing people, because here's the thing with sexual harassment, It doesn't even have to be that person that you're referring to. If I hear you referring to a coworker as that chick with the big butt or that chick with the big titties or something like that, I can file sexual harassment because what you said is offensive to me. Even though she may not have heard it, I heard it and you offended me. So now I can file sexual harassment because I was uncomfortable by the comments that you made. So you guys, you got to be very, very mindful. It is law. Check the laws. The sexual harassment laws differ from state to state. So definitely check into that. But from my general understanding from sexual harassment, even if you may be at lunch talking to your boys and y'all talking about, somebody that you work with. And if listener Hayden Betty hear you talking about old girl in the mailroom, her butt and her titties big, she can report you to HR and you can be disciplined because now she feels that that's sexual harassment, even though you were not talking to her or about her, but she heard what you said. She can report you because she's offended. So that's what sexual harassment is. It's making a person feel uncomfortable by things that you say or do. So kind of be mindful for that kind of ish.
I totally agree to everything that you're saying. And me personally, I've had a lot of jobs and I've had a lot of experiences to where, conversations with guys, and then I'll just walk away when the conversation gets too sexual. Mm-hmm. So because a lot of guys is traditional almost, and I'm sure it's traditional with women too. You all have your own conversations about men maybe you've been with. Men have conversations about women they've been with. But I don't like to have conversations like that. I don't have conversations like that at all publicly because, like you just said and like you read previously, anyone can be offended by something that you say. So you have to be very mindful at all times of what you're saying because the person you least expect is like listening, and you never know when they listen. And to be specific, when you see any woman around, just don't have that conversation.
Well, so now we have Ezra. She's saying, "Wow, did you say titties? Ooh, yeah, I did. Titty. Breasts. White meat. Hot sauce. Yes, I said titties. But guys, listen. An employee sends emails to coworkers that contain sexually explicit languages and jokes. Listen, y'all don't be using these companies' emails and stuff anyway because they hacking into everything. They see everything. Everything goes through a third-party filter before it is even delivered. So stay off those people emails and they service because you're going to mess around and lose your job because you're trying to share this funny meme off Facebook and then you lose your job because they intercepted that nasty ish. So stay off of these people's stuff. The conduct of the offender must be offensive and unwelcome by the victim. So again, the person that hear it, it may not have been intended for them, but if somebody is offended, you could be in some trouble. Just know this. Now, here's the thing. Harassment may still occur when there is no economic injury or discharge of the victim. So it's still sexual harassment. Again, even if nobody loses their job or nobody is reprimanded or anything, it's still, if it's offensive, it can be sexual harassment. Now, let me ask this. The last thing is the victim and harasser may identify as any gender. The victim does not have to be of any specific gender identity. If you say anything that a person considers offensive, it could be considered sexual harassment. We are living in a different day and time where there's just a whole bunch of ish going on. So I would say this, just keep certain conversations out of the workplace. Just so there will be no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And keep it off of your social media because, again, your employers are looking at your behavior on social media as well. And if you are being a butthole on social media, saying all this offensive stuff, that could come back to bite you in the behind during the workday. So definitely be mindful of that. have you ever been the victim of any type of sexual harassment? And Facebook, has anybody in the feed ever been the victim of any type of sexual harassment?
I definitely have. I have women that flirt with me
You've
sometimes.
been a victim of
but
sexual harassment.
I have been a victim,
Ooh,
but because
shut your mouth.
but
Wait.
because I'm a man, and this is the thing, and I definitely side with women. Let that be known firsthand. But as a man, you know, we feel uncomfortable like trying to go to a boss. It's like you're not even taken seriously if you go to HR.
Right.
Like, oh, girl was just saying something about, you know, how I look at my gray jogging pants. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't take that seriously.
Wait a minute.
But so like traditionally, like men don't even like say, we don't speak up because, you know what I'm saying, we're not taken seriously. You know what I mean? At all.
Wait a minute. So somebody said something to you about some great job.
Yeah, like I wear my, you know what I mean? I play ball, so sometimes I try to prepare, you know what I'm saying, the next day when I go play ball after work, I want to have my
right, as professional as you are, and
right,
somebody getting grimy with you.
All the time. It don't take long.
Ooh, you all ought to be ashamed of yourself.
All you can do is, you know, shake your head and ignore them, you know what I mean, and not play into it because it can be a setup. You know what I mean? Because when you respond to them, you may say something thinking that they flirt and it's an open flirt conversation. You will get nailed to the cross. So I choose not to even respond. I'll just walk away or maybe grin or something like that. No.
See, my thing is now I've been in a situation where I felt like it was definitely sexual harassment. Now, see, me, I'm passive aggressive, so you can only get away with that ish for so long, and then somebody gonna get cut, and that's just how it's gonna be. So this guy will always make these sexual references. At first, we used to be cool and we used to talk and everything, but then I noticed like everything was just always about sex. So I just stopped talking to him, and then I'm like, you know what? He got one more time, and I'm just gonna clean cut him, and then that's just gonna be it. And then now I'm gonna be in trouble, but you doing too much. So I told him one day, don't let your mouth get your, and then you know, we're gonna take a break because my mama in the feed. But I'm like, I got somebody that's gonna handle you. You keep on saying what you're saying, and watch and see what happened. Watch and see what happened. What you talk about? What you say? One more thing. Watch one more thing about my butt. Anything. Say one more thing. We've been cool ever since. Hey, we gravy now. Like it's like all good because I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna play no games with you. You're not about to have me because I felt very uncomfortable. I'm like every time it's a comment about your butt, this and that. She think shut. And see now, and that's where the passive aggressive, because the passive part I was letting it go. But it's only two speeds with me, 0 or 100. I was at 0. I was trying to be at 0 for as long as I could. But then that final straw, it took me to 100. Now I'm ready to get you jumped on. I'm ready to just get you dealt with right out of the parking lot because you're doing too much and you know you're doing too much. So you guys be mindful of that. But again, you got to speak up, though. Don't do what I did. Don't wait till you're about ready to cut somebody. You got to speak up and you got to nip it in the bud. You got to let people know, listen, I don't like what you're saying. I'm offended by what you're saying. I'm offended by what you're doing. Stop it. If they don't stop, you know, I would say give them, you know, just try to, you know, get them to see it. But if they're not seeing it, then you have to report them. You have, because there's no reason you should feel uncomfortable in the workplace or any other place where a person may be, you know, sexually harassing you. You don't have to accept that bullish. You know, I don't care how you shape, what you dress like. Now, I will say this. Let me say this. Now, ladies, listen, I know you're going to get mad and all this Me Too and all this other bull junk, but listen what I'm about to say. Some things that you do wear, you know, will cause, listen, wear some bummy stuff, you may not have a problem. But if you wearing all this revealing stuff, all this all out, everything is, of course, people are going to look. Of course, they're going to ogle. Of course, they're going to say inappropriate things. So it's like, is it right? No. But what I'm saying is use your better judgment. If you don't want people saying, you got to tone. Listen, don't say this is victim blaming and all this other bull junk. Listen, we know why we dress the way we dress. We wear certain things to get attention. Let's just put that ish out there. You wear certain things because you know it's going to create a certain type of reaction and you're looking from that reaction. Don't be mad if you don't get the reaction from the person that you're trying to get that reaction from. But you're going to get a reaction. That's just facts. I don't care what you say, email me, block me, take me out, whatever. But it's real. So let's not act like, oh, well, we don't know. Oh, well, I would have split up to my butt and I didn't think anybody was going to say it. Listen, unless you looking like Bamboozle Methuselah and he don't see you from the front, if all he see is the back, you're gonna get the cattle call. You're gonna get all those, but then when he look around, you turn around, he gonna be like, oh no, I wasn't talking about you. You know, no, she gone now. She gone around the corner because the front what he thought was going on from the back. So I'm just saying, so let's not play this type of game like we don't know what we putting on and all of this other stuff. Have you ever experienced that? Like, have you ever said anything inappropriate that could have been taken as sexual harassment?
No, I don't say anything inappropriate. I have good discipline. I grew up with 2 older sisters. I have no brothers. Oh. So I looked up to women raised by women. I know how to treat women. I know how to act appropriately around women. Now, it's funny that you had said what you said about the dress because we're definitely on the same accord. I was already about to, try to segue my way in to talk about how women can set you up for sexual harassment. So my brothers, men, be careful, you know what I'm saying? Only because, like Ms. Jay said, you know what I'm saying? Only because a woman wears what she chooses to wear, she has the prerogative to wear whatever she want to wear. Staring can also be considered sexual harassment. Let that be known. So, you know what I'm saying, don't fall for the okie doke, you know what I mean? You can glance, whatever like that. Obviously, there's a lot of beautiful women out here, that nature, but, staring and things of that nature be considered, sexual harassment. So don't be staring and, googly ass stalking and stuff like that, you know what I mean? She will go to HR on you.
And see, my thing is this, so like, for me, I know, like, when I put on certain things, sometimes, and I try not to do all of that because, listen, I don't feel like all that. And sometimes, I can have a bad attitude. So you fire at me, I'm firing back. And you just don't even know how deep this fire can go. So to calm it down, so like, I try to, avoid, just wearing certain type of things. Because I'm going to go off. But I do know that, listen, I'm thankful, I got it. I ain't gonna lie. I know. I'm thankful. Look at me how you want to, whatever, Mr. Winfrey. I know. But at the same time, I know that just being real, I know that it's certain things, if I put it on, it's about to be some bull junk. And if I don't feel like dealing with it, I just, it can come from people that you welcome it from or people that you don't. And so it's like, if I don't feel like dealing with it, I dress accordingly. Let me just say that I'm going to dress accordingly because 9 times out of 10, I don't feel like dealing with it. And so let's not don't put yourself in position as best as possible. See, now when I'm at work, I ain't got to worry about being sexually harassed at work because I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Trust me, at 5 o'clock in the morning, I don't look like this. I look like, hey, you came to work like that? Absolutely. As long as you don't smell me, I'm a breath. Listen, I'm here and I'm here on time. I can't promise you nothing else. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I can't promise you that. Okay, so I ain't got to worry about sexual harassment at work, even though some of them, the ladies that like the ladies, they kind of be, y'all kind of scare me a little bit, okay? But be mindful. You got to be mindful for yourself. You can't put everything off on the other person. You got to take your responsibility for your actions as well, because again, we know that certain things that we wear is going to get attention. That's just like with the jogging pants, they're going to be after you. So if you don't feel like, is it right? Absolutely not. But you know that if you don't feel like dealing with that bullish, I ain't even finna wear these jogging pants today because I don't even feel like dealing with these chicks today. I ain't even finna wear it. But then some days you like, okay, whatever. I'm not finna deal with it, but I'm finna wear my jogging pants.
And take into exception, I'm wearing shorts underneath. It's not just jogging pants or, my undergarments, whatever like that. I have shorts on underneath my jogging pants. It's just they looking so hard. They paying attention to me so much. They looking for something.
Y'all stop paying attention and looking that hard at this brother and let this brother do his job without y'all all oogling, ogling, and him in his gray jogging pants. So let this man do his job, please and thank you. Okay, so we're gonna settle that for you real quick. Now, Is it possible? Okay, let me just make this disclaimer. Church and all this other stuff, listen, do not email me about you the devil and all this other stuff, because you the devil too. If you on here and you about to judge what I'm about to say, so you the devil, and tell them I said hi, because you wrong for what you about to say and think. Now, is it possible to be sexually harassed at church? Is it possible, in your opinion?
I feel like it's possible to be sexually harassed anywhere, from the church house to the, you know what I'm saying, to the grocery store. Anywhere. Yes.
You guys, I totally believe that it's like you said, anywhere. In the church is no exception. So you guys, you gotta stop putting your guards down everywhere, because it's like, we, especially when it's dealing with your kids, you just let the kids just run free and clear through the church and all this and that. Listen, everybody is at the church, and everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't right. You gotta watch your kids. I don't listen. The devil could be sitting right there, right next to the right in the next pew from you. You gotta watch. The Bible says, "Watch as well as pray." So you have to watch, and don't be trusting your kids with just any and everybody, because they got schools. You could have went to school to get your title. Just because you got a title don't mean that you were called of God. So watch your kids. Don't be trusting your kids with everybody. Don't be letting them go spend the night over these people's houses, and they listen, because everybody ain't right. That's all I'm gonna say, is everybody ain't right. And if you don't like what I just said about the church and the people in the church, please feel free to unfriend me, because you may be that person that's in the church that's not right. But I'm saying, don't trust your kids to everybody, and watch yourself. Watch what's going on. You can't be all trusting and everything with everybody, you know, especially again with your kids. You cannot be putting your kids out there. Oh, we in church, they gonna be okay. Listen, if I had a little baby, I'd be right there just watching everything. You take no, don't give her no cookies. Don't give, and you got to teach your kids. Don't let people touch on you. Don't accept these little goodies and all that, because you know you can trick these little kids up, you know, with candies and sweet things and stuff like that. Teach your kids at home. Teach them how to watch. Teach them the proper names for their body parts. Teach them appropriate and inappropriate touch. You got to teach your kids as soon as they get the comprehension and understanding. You got to start teaching them, because people are crazy everywhere. The store, the church, your job, the gym, everywhere. Getting on the school bus, you have to watch, and you have to teach your children to watch as well. So definitely be mindful. Now, how do you determine sexual harassment versus unwelcome flirting? Now, here's the thing, ladies. Now, listen, I'm going to be real with y'all. Let's talk now. Let's talk heart to heart. We're going to listen. If he's trying to holler at you and he's trying to shoot his best shot, you know, don't go trying to report the man for sexual harassment, because, you know, he liking you and he's trying to shoot his shot. So be mindful on them shooting a shot versus sexual harassment, because that's a very serious claim, and you don't want nobody losing their job just because he's trying to shoot his shot, and you know he ain't got a chance, and he ain't got a chance. Just tell him, bruh, fall back. This ain't, this right here, this amusement park, it ain't for you. Okay, keep it moving. Let them know. Don't sit up there. Oh, now you sending emails and all. You don't even got to do all that. So we got to be able to determine and distinguish sexual harassment versus unwanted flirting. I mean, I'm like, listen, dude, you ain't got a chance. Fall back. That's all. Just fall back and look. Let him know. Fall back. He gonna stop. Just tell him, I ain't feeling you. You know, you can send your brother or your father over, but you or your boy, you know, I saw your boy, y'all. I saw your boy. You can send your boy over, but you don't qualify. Bye. You know, you gotta say stuff like this. Don't cost the man his job and now his reputation and now, you know, all kinds of stuff, because you know, you didn't handle it right. He thought he was throwing his best game down.
Right.
Now you done caused him sexual harassment.
Excuse me, like sometimes, you know, a guy may insinuate to see if, you know, if you married, if you single, you know what I'm saying? That's not sexual harassment if a man just asks you, if you single, you married, like he trying not to be, he don't want to be disrespectful. That's why he's asking you, are you single? Are you married? But if you don't answer the question and maybe bypass that and maybe want to go flirt back and then you go and then a woman runs to HR, like I'm a married woman. Like how did he know? You never told him. You never so like you say, it's very important to continue to communicate and say exactly how you feel and let them know like it ain't nothing moving over here if that's the case.
Right. Let them know. Like I said, it's just, it's simple to let them know. And a lot of times when you let them know, they're done. Like, oh, okay, she married or whatever, she not interested, whatever. But some people be so quick to send a listen, you ain't even told them. Get a man a chance to leave you alone and go bug somebody else, so let them know. But according to an online source, here are a few signs that could help you determine if you're being sexually harassed. Okay, the first one is you experience behavior of a sexual nature that makes you feel uncomfortable. They keep looking at or commenting on your body in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. There's a difference between saying that's a nice dress and that dress that dress is kicking, it's showing everything the good Lord blessed you with. Woo! Girl, you don't know what that dress is doing to me. Come on, too much. Too much. But ladies, keep in mind, if he's saying that about that dress, you may want to think twice about wearing that dress again, because that probably won't be the last time you hear that comment. You're unable to make them stop. They keep doing the same or saying the same things that you let them know that makes you feel uncomfortable. They keep doing it. That may be a sign now they're intentionally sexually harassing you versus flirting with you. You feel pressure to go along with it. Now, this could be somebody that has a high position and they're telling, they're flirting with you, or they're saying aggressive things that make you feel uncomfortable, but you're scared to say something because you feel like you may lose your job if you say something. You could be, being sexually harassed. And then you feel repercussions if you speak up. So again, if you feel like you're afraid to say something because they're making you feel uncomfortable, you feel like you're going to lose your job and you're going to get in trouble, you could be experiencing sexual harassment. So again, if you feel offended by something, definitely speak up, but tell that person first, give them a chance to, stop doing what's making you feel uncomfortable before you go to report them. But if you feel that you are being sexually harassed at work, here's something that you can do. You can consult your employee handbook for the policies to see if your employer has the method or have some policies and procedures set up for you to properly, handle being sexually harassed. And if not, then definitely check out the EEOC's website on sexual harassment. Each state has different laws and rules and regulations set up on how to handle and deal with sexual harassment in the workplace. But at no time should you ever feel uncomfortable being in the workplace. So again, first you need to let the person know that what they're doing is saying you don't like it. And if they don't stop that, then you take it to your supervisor. And if they don't do anything from that point, then you definitely take it to the EEOC. But guys, listen, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. You've been listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station. I want to thank my guest, Mr. ISAIDIT celebrity interviewer ISAIDIT Callahan, for joining us on tonight. Guys, we thank you so much. We will see you all next week. Peace out.
Peace. Shout out to Dude Media.
Thank you so much.
Bridge Magazine. I say the management all day.